Everyone, and welcome to our final full week of classes. Okay, so we're going to be going over what's coming up in week 15 in this video. As you can see, we're focusing this week on the afterword draft. So the afterword is the final bonus feature that's going to be in your Google Doc, and that functions as the main piece of writing in the portfolio that you're doing for the inquiry project. So the afterword looks back over all of the work that you have done this semester, all of the writing and research that has played into your reader's guide. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you a little bit about that and showing you how to add that as well. So the first thing that you'll need to do this week is to add these sections to the Reader's Guide Google Doc. Okay, so these bonus features, you can see they're going to come after the glossary of key terms, and we're moving about the editor to the final page of your document, because if you think of this as like an ebook or even a regular print book, you often have the about the author or the editor at the very end of the book on the back flap of the jacket, etc. So you're going to put it between the bonus features and the about the editor. So think of these bonus features as something you often see at the end of a movie or documentary. They are bonus material that the audience might be interested in. And you think that you often see an editor talking about things that happened, how he came up with certain ideas, how he or she cut certain things or decided not to use them, etc. So it's in the spirit of looking back over everything that went into a project. And so your bonus features, you're focusing on what you would continue researching if you had time, an editor's projected inquiry. And then this afterward functions as an interview with you over about all the things maybe you have learned about writing and research throughout the whole process. So you're looking back over everything you've done this semester. So to add these sections, you'll need to just follow the instructions are very simple for adding them. Please make sure that you're following the instructions, what headings you should use, so that your table of contents will now look like this once you refresh it. You might have extra subheadings under collection of sources, under editor's intro, that's fine. But you need to have these headings at least, okay? So you'll need to do that before you get started on your draft of the afterword. So as I said, and as you've looked over this assignment before, this is the major piece of writing that you're doing for the portfolio. So the portfolio is an important aspect of the inquiry project. And for this draft of the afterword, you need to respond fully to at least 3 questions with screenshots to receive credit. Okay, so you can do more, and that's great. You will eventually need to respond to all 13 questions. So the more you do now, the less work you'll have to do in the future, and the more feedback you will get from your writing team on your draft. So you're going to work on your draft directly in the Google Doc in the section that you just set up with the afterword. Okay, so you'll want to copy and paste the questions from the assignment into that, and pick whichever ones you want to start responding to for your draft, keeping in mind you'll eventually want to respond to all of them. Before you get started writing anything, it is absolutely crucial that you watch this afterword assignment walkthrough. In this assignment, my colleague, Professor Mahaffey, does an amazing job going over tips on the afterword, important things to consider, and giving you some more context about the afterword. So if you've already watched it when you looked over the assignment before, I would strongly encourage you to watch it again. It's very important to getting what you're doing in the afterword assignment, okay? So you're going to be answering, as Professor Mahaffey goes over in the video, as the interviewee, you're going to answer all these questions. So for our draft, pick whichever 3 you want to start with, and also keep in mind that your total word count for the afterword should be around 1,500 words. So your responses to all the questions should be around 1,500 words. That does not count the actual questions themselves. And it does not count any writing that's in the screenshots. So you should think about that. That may sound like a lot, but it's 1,500 words spread over 13 questions is basically a good sized paragraph per question, okay? So again, follow those tips that Professor Mahaffey gives in this video, and it should not be a problem coming up with content for the your responses there. Okay, so again, for our purposes for this draft, you are doing 3 questions and you need to have screenshots too to receive the credit. Feel free to keep going if you have more, and you're turning in the link to the afterword from the table of contents, okay? All right, so that's it for Tuesday, and then on Thursday you're going to look at your writing team's afterward draft and using the comments feature in Google Docs respond in 5 comments. Okay, so again, you've seen this setup before. You know, what's the writer doing well? What are some most pressing revisions needed in certain categories? Okay. Also, please point out if you see they are missing something. Sometimes somebody has not included a screenshot or a photo of something of their work that they did early in the semester. Point that out. You're helping them out by pointing out something that maybe they have overlooked. Okay, so make sure you're responding fully to each other's drafts. Okay, and then on also on Thursday you'll want to do course evaluations will be available. So it's important that you do this not just for our course but for every class. It's really important that we get feedback from as many students as possible. And this is harder to do when evaluations are online. They used to be in paper in the classroom, and we would get 100%. We get 100% involvement from all students. But it's up to you now more to go ahead and complete the evaluation. So they are very important. Please make sure that you leave some time for that. And that's it for Thursday. And then on Sunday, you have your last studio. And this one is aimed at helping you think about more fine-tuning proofreading that you can be doing for your inquiry project portfolio before you turn it in. Okay. So one thing, let me go back here, that I forgot to mention. When setting up your final sections here in the bonus features, you'll want to add your editor's projected inquiry infographic once it's finished. Okay, so once it's finished, so don't add the one that you had for your draft. You'll want to continue working on it, and then you can save it in the same way that you did when you turned it in the first time and insert it into the bonus features. Please do not forget that you also need the editor's commentary that provides some context for the infographic, and you can refer to the assignment again for what needs to be in that. So don't forget to add the infographic as well. Okay, so that's it for this week. Again, please post any questions that you have, and you are in the home stretch. You're almost there. Just keep up the good work.